Okay, let me ask you something. Have you ever seen a genuinely brilliant idea? I mean, one with all the data, all the logic, just fall flat? It fails to connect with anyone. It's so frustrating, right? You see it happen all the time. So what's the deal? What's the difference between an idea that just disappears and one that actually, changes the world? Well, it turns out there's a secret ingredient. And I promise it's probably not what you're thinking.
Yeah, this is the exact question that just completely stumps so many teams. You can have this amazing product packed with incredible features or a strategy that looks perfect on paper. But if it doesn't get people excited, if it doesn't make them want to do something, it just goes nowhere. There's this huge fundamental piece of the puzzle that's just missing.
So the whole problem really boils down to this: the difference between just a great idea and what we'll call a resonant idea. See, a great idea, that's all about logic. It's the data, the features. It makes perfect sense in your head. But a resonant idea, that's different. It hits you on an emotional level. It connects with your heart. It doesn't just make sense, it makes you feel something. And that giant gap, between the head and the heart, that's exactly where most brilliant ideas get totally lost. So how in the world do you bridge that gap? How do you connect the logic to the emotion? Well, the answer is a tool that we humans have been using for literally thousands of years to connect with each other, to persuade, and just to make sense of everything around us. It's the key that turns cold, hard logic into a real, genuine human connection.
And that tool is storytelling. Now hold on. When we're talking about design thinking, we're not talking about fairy tales or making stuff up. Not at all. This is about using storytelling as a strategic tool. It's a way to communicate your ideas by tapping into real, honest-to-goodness human emotions and experiences. It's how you take something abstract and make it feel real, make it relatable, and most importantly, make it unforgettable. Okay, so how does this actually work in practice? Well, storytelling unlocks 3 specific powers. You could almost call them superpowers that can take any project from just good to truly game-changing. Let's dive into the first one. All right, the first power, and honestly, this might be the most important one of all, is forging empathy. Because think about it, before you can even begin to solve a problem for someone, you have to really, truly get them. Not just what they do, but how they feel. I mean, think about it like this. Raw data, like a spreadsheet, can tell you that your users are struggling with something. But a story shows you why they're struggling. It puts your entire team right in the user's shoes, letting them see the world through their eyes. All of a sudden, that cold number on a screen becomes a real human moment of frustration. And then you're not just solving a functional issue anymore. You're meeting a deep emotional need. So, once you've built that foundation of empathy, storytelling's second power kicks in, creating a vision. It's not enough for your team to just feel the user's pain. They also need to be able to see a super clear, compelling picture of the future. A future where that pain is totally gone, all because of your solution. And a simple, classic story structure is actually perfect for this. First, you paint a picture of the user's world, a day in their life. Then you introduce the problem, the big challenge they're up against. And finally, your solution gets to be the hero of the story. It swoops in and fits seamlessly into their life to save the day. This simple little story arc makes the whole purpose of what you're building crystal clear and really compelling for everybody involved. Okay, so now you've got empathy and you've got a crystal clear vision. That's great. But what good is any of that if your team isn't all on the same page? What if everyone's pulling in different directions? And that brings us to the third and absolutely crucial power of storytelling, unifying the team. A really good, compelling story acts like a North Star for the entire project. It gets everyone, from the engineers to the marketers to the designers, all aligned around one single shared story. People stop just working on their little isolated tasks or features, and instead, they become united by this common purpose. They finally get the why behind all their hard work. And that, right there, is the bedrock of real, genuine team alignment. Because in the end, it really does come down to this simple truth. When your entire team can tell the exact same story about who you're helping and why it matters so much, that's when the real magic happens. So you see, storytelling isn't just some fluffy, soft skill. It's a powerful, strategic bridge that connects a logical idea to a solution that actually resonates with people. It's the thing that turns cold data into real empathy. It transforms a boring list of features into a clear, exciting vision. And it turns a group of individuals into a completely unstoppable, unified team. It gives your ideas the power to connect, to inspire, and, at the end of the day, to actually succeed. So I'm going to leave you with this one question to think about. That project you're working on right now, the one you're really passionate about, the idea that keeps you up at night. What is the human story that it really needs to tell? Find that story, tell that story, and I guarantee you'll find your path forward. Thanks for joining me for this explainer.